Alright guys, you are tuning in to episode 1, the very first episode of In the Cypher BBOY podcast. In this episode, you'll learn a little bit more about the show, why we need something like this, how it'll make you a better dancer, goals, visions for the show, and maybe a little bit about me. Anyways, we got intro music courtesy of Dash Ghost Rocks, all the way from Switzerland. Run it. Yeah, big shout out to Dash Ghost Rocks. Appreciate the support, brother. Be sure to peep the full track and the other mixtapes he's got on his SoundCloud Dash Ghost Rocks with a Z or Z. And yeah, we'll link his SoundCloud on our website. And yes, we have a website, inthecypher.com. Nice and easy. It's on the website for every single episode we post. It will come with show notes, and these show notes will be posted on the website and will include a summary of the things that we discuss in every episode, as well as any links or specific things we talk about in the episode. You can always find it on our website. Nice and easy. Now, for this episode, I want to get deeper on what exactly is going on on the show. Cool. So for every episode of the show, you can expect to hear a B-boy or B-girl as a guest on the show, and I will be interviewing them. What types of questions will I be asking? Well, think of it as a sort of mini workshop where we discuss things from how they train specifically, their approach to battling, all the way to more abstract concepts like musicality, style, maybe creating moves, history. The list goes on, and the topics and discussion is super open-ended, but mainly focused on helping you, the listener, develop and grow as a dancer. Ideally, each B-boy and B-girl on the show will be catered by you, the listener, and the questions I ask will also be catered by you, the listener, so you get to learn exactly what you want to learn. Cool. So why is the show important? In short, really short, you get to learn from the best, and it doesn't get better than that. If you want the long answer, is the more time you spend in this dance, learning it, going through the process, you start to realize there is so much more, from developing your own style, creating new moves, battle strategies, optimizing your training regimen, balancing your life outside of breaking, learning the history. I mean, this dance is so much bigger than just moves. So this is where the dance really starts to open up, and we begin to realize how much opportunity there is to learn and grow. This is why I love the concept of the show. Imagine having multiple coaches and mentors available to you around the world that you can learn from anytime, anywhere. They have expertise in specific areas. I mean, that is powerful. Sharing this knowledge and learning from these experts, this is how we grow as dancers. This is how we grow as a community, and this is why we need something like this. So I'm really excited for this. All right, well, let's talk about the name of the show. Obviously, the name of the show is inspired by the ciphers and how ciphers are similar to the conversations we are having on this podcast, where you wait and listen until it's your turn to speak / throw down. Here we get to be in the cypher with a B-boy or B-girl, where they share their own personal journey and how you, the listener, can take what they've learned along the way and apply it to yourself and your own dance. Knowledge is power. So the main vision for the show is to be a resource for training, knowledge, and developing our dance outside of the studio, and to learn directly from high-level and experienced breakers. So the key to growth is to always be learnings, and on this show, we get to learn from the best. Everyone has a different perspective on this dance, and even if you don't agree with it, you will always learn by listening. By learning and understanding high-level breakers, it will change the way you think or see this dance. So goals. I've got a ton of goals for the show. One of them is for this show to be a part of every B-boy's training routine or regimen, whatever you want to call it. On this show, hopefully we can go get into some deeper knowledge, some actionable tips that you can take into your dance for your next training session, your next battle, or even outside the studio, working with your diet or conditioning, those sorts of things. The show is free. You can download it and listen to it anytime, anywhere, and you get to learn directly from these B-boys and B-girls who have reached new heights in this dance. These are dancers we may never get to meet. We may not ever get the opportunity to attend their workshops. This show will be so valuable in that sort of way. These actionable tips and tricks from these experienced breakers, these are the exact things you can do right now to incorporate in your training, and it doesn't get better than that. Or maybe it does. The biggest goal for this show is community involvement. So I want you guys, the listeners of the show, to be involved in producing the show so you get exactly what you need to know from these B-boys and B-girls we have on the show and that I interview. I want you guys to request B-boys that you want me to get on the show and interview. But not only that, I want you guys to ask your questions directly to these dancers. Often what you want to know, hundreds if not thousands of other people want to know too. We get to learn together, and you get to learn and receive the advice on exactly what you need. So this is a free show that is made by breakers for breakers. They're these high-level B-boys and B-girls that are giving you their time and knowledge. That is extremely valuable. In return, all we ask is for you to support them on their social media and other projects they have going on. Go to their workshops if you want to get deeper learning with these breakers. And finally, to share the show with your fellow B-boys and B-girls if you do learn something valuable from the podcast episodes. So to reach out to me with your questions and the B-boys and B-girls you want to have on the show and to learn from, we got an Instagram account in Cypher, and we are also on Facebook at In the Cypher. Again, all these links to our social media will be on our website. On our website, you can comment on there too. You can email me directly in a ton of ways. Preferably, you could just hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. Cool. So now where to find these episodes? I am hosting every episode on podcast platforms, which means you can just use whatever podcast app on your phone and download and listen to any episode whenever, wherever you want. It's so easy. It doesn't get better than that. If you prefer not to use those kinds of apps or you're not familiar with them, these episodes will also be posted on our website in thecypher.com. And also I will be posting full episodes on youtube.com. So super easy, making it super available. If there's another way you prefer to listen to the show, let me know. I will accommodate you in whatever way you want. And as a side note, I know there are a lot of young B-boys and B-girls, so each episode is PG, so no swearing. I bleep out all the swear words just to make it available for everyone. Yeah, guys, that's about it. I mean, I don't have much experience podcasting or interviewing, so any criticism, constructive advice, anything like that would be super, super helpful. You can let me know wherever publicly. You can DM me on Instagram or shoot me an email. You can find our email on our website. Cool. And the same thing goes for questions. If you got questions for me, you can reach me the same ways. Anyways, you guys can tune out now. We're going to be wrapping up, but I just want to close off the episode by telling you guys a little bit more about myself. So my name is Wolvie. I'm 24 years old, living out here in Vancouver, Canada. Started breaking in high school. Never really had a teacher or a mentor. Mostly just learned from my friends and peers, people I met in the community at jams. So one of the drivers for the show was the lack of resources I had when I was coming up. During our breaking journey, we often run into roadblocks. Now, these are specific problems with specific solutions, and I never had a go-to resource of knowledge to help me through these types of situations with ease. Hopefully, this show can be that resource for you in your time of need. And, not to get too cheesy, but Breakin has helped me develop a sense of purpose and identity over the years, and I have discovered myself through this dance. Breakin has given a lot to me, and I see this show and this podcast as an opportunity to give back. I'm currently running the show from my basement. For equipment, I just got my laptop, microphone, and an extra monitor. So it's pretty ghetto, but we got to keep going. And we've got a couple episodes coming out. We got Why Not, Dean or Razzie D, and Nico Spins. These are the first 3 episodes. We got more to come after that. I don't want to spoil anything though. But yeah, Why Not? He gave a lot of great advice on musicality. I mean, the dude's a legend. Razzie D or Dean gave a lot of advice on footwork, some very applicable tips and tricks. And then you got Nico. He gave a lot of extensive and specific advice on his training schedule, which is so dope. I mean, these episodes should be live pretty soon after this one goes up, so be sure to check it out. But yeah, I just wanted to take a moment here to give a big shout out and a very, very big thank you to these B-boys on the first 7 to 10 episodes of the show. I mean, these guys I approached, they have no idea who I am or what I'm doing, but they agreed to be on the show. We were able to link up and do the interview, and they have no idea what I'm doing. So big shout out to them. I really appreciate the support. But share the show, more details to come, and until then guys, I'll catch you in the Cypher. Take care. Peace.